Hi friends, welcome to AWS Devops sessions. In this session, we are going to learn about step-by-step procedure to install the Docker service and how we can be able to create the containers from the Docker tool and how we can be able to execute some basic commands over the Docker. Everything we are going to discuss in this section. As you observed in the slide, I had mentioned some basic commands which we are going to execute while we are working with the Docker. Here, in order to install the Docker, the command is yum install docker-y. If you want to check the Docker version, the command is docker-version. And if you want to start the service of Docker, the command is service docker start. And at the same time, once you had successfully started the service of Docker, you just need to check the status, whether it is running or not, in order to confirm the same. So the command is the service docker status. And if you want to get the more information about the Docker, the command is docker info. Here, this is a simple basic commands, and we have a lot of commands while we are working with the Docker. So we can discuss in detail in the lab session. So quickly, I'm going to create the EC2 server in order to install the Docker. Okay. Yeah. Let us open the Google Chrome. I'm going to open the AWS console. Just click on the first link and sign into the console. Here I am going to log on into my AWS account. Here right now I am in the Northern Virginia region. Just click on the EC2 dashboard. Here it is going to display any running servers out there. Right now there are no running EC2 instances on my account. I am going to create one EC2 server. Click on launch instance. The name of the server is, I am going to set Docker server. And here, as usual, I'm going to select Amazon Linux 2 as it is free tier eligible. And at the same time, I'm going to select the t2.micro as instance type. Fine. I'm going to select the key 1 as the key is already downloaded on my desktop. And here, I'm going to add the properties. By default, I'm going to use a default network. And here, I'm going to create the new security group. The security group name is Docker underscore security group. And here by default the SSH has been allowed, and along with that I'm going to open some other thing like I am going to allow all the traffic. The source type is anywhere. Just add security group and launch instance. It is going to install the EC2 server. Once the EC2 server has been successfully started, I'm going to install the Docker service or the EC2 server. Once the Docker service has been successfully installed, that will be called as a Docker host. As we discussed in the earlier session, on whatever the server the Docker server engine is running, that will be called as a Docker host. So with the help, in the meanwhile, I'm going to open MOBA XTerm. Here it will act as a SSH client in order to connect to the server. So I'm going to start the MOBA XTerm. So just wait for a moment. It is going to start. And where is my key pair? It is on the desktop. So that's why desktop under key pair. Here my key pair resides. So that's why I had changed the path to the particular path. And here in order to connect, just open the mission and click on connect. And here just copy the same and here enter. Then you will be able to connect to the server. Just press enter. Just wait. Here I logged into the mission as a EC2 user. If I want to log in as a root user, sudo -i. Here, fine. The server has been successfully initiated. What is the command to install the Docker? Yum install docker -y. Yum install docker y. This is the command to install the Docker service. So once it has been successfully installed, I need to restart the service or start the service. So before start the service, I am going to check the version, which version I had been installed. If you observe here, Docker space version. Here you won't be able to see the client version. Here you can't be able to see the Docker engine details. So if I want to get the details about the Docker engine as well, first of all I need to start the service. What is the command? System ctl start Docker. Systemctl start Docker. Enter. It is going to start the Docker. And if you want to check the status, whether it is running or not, Docker systemctl status Docker. It is going to show you here as it is displaying. It is active and it is in the running mode. So successfully I had installed the Docker service and I had started the service as well. Currently it is in the running state. If you check the version right now, it is going to display the engine details as well. Here how it will be, here it is displaying the engine details as well. Yes, obviously it is displaying. Fine, successfully I had installed the Docker service and it is successfully running over my server. So how I can be able to execute some basic commands? So right now, as I told to you earlier, if I want to create the container, first of all I need to get the image. From image only I will be able to create the containers. Right now, did I have any images in my server? No. If you want to check the same, Docker images. Here there is no image. First of all, I just want to get the some image into my server. From that image, I will be able to create the containers. How to get the image? There is a command Docker pull. Here I am going to pull the Ubuntu image. Docker pull Ubuntu. Enter. It is going to pull the latest Ubuntu image into the server. If you want to check the same whether it has been successfully pulled or not, again execute the command Docker images. Earlier if I type the command Docker images, it is not going to display anything. Right now it is going to display the Ubuntu image and the tag is latest and this is the image ID. Okay, right now I have the image. So if I have the image, I can be able to create the container. What is the command to create the container? Here I am going to show to you. We are going to step by step. Docker run. What from which image? Ubuntu image. Suppose if you execute this command, the container will be created with the default name. How that will be? We are going to check. Docker run Ubuntu. Yes, successfully the container has been created. If you want to check the container, Docker ps-a. Here if you observe here, the name, it has been come defaultly as I didn't set any name for the container. But here my requirement has been changed. If I want to create the container, but the name of the container is my wish. I want to set the container name. How can I do that? So here in order to do that, there is another command Docker run --name container1. Okay, from which image? Ubuntu. Docker run --name. Here I am going to set the name as container1 and I am going to create the container1 from the image Ubuntu. Enter. It is going to create the container1 from the image Ubuntu. Here if I press Docker ps-a, it is a command which is used to list all the containers. Have you checked it? The container1 is in excited state, means it is a stopped state. Now suppose if I want to create the container and I want to set the name as well, at the same time once the container created, automatically at the same time I just need to log into the container. How that will be achieved? Yeah, there is a command. Here if you observe Docker run -it, it stands for interactive terminal. Docker run -it -name container2 and from which image? Ubuntu. Here if you press enter, here if you observe, you had already logged into the container. Okay, here from which image I had created the container? By using the Ubuntu image. If you have the Ubuntu image, what is the command you are used? apt. If it is Red Hat flavor, you can use m, but if it is Ubuntu, here you are using apt. Here first of all, apt update -y. Just check whether it is going to update or not. Yes, obviously it is going to update. Just remember one thing, container is nothing but virtual machine. Virtual machine, container both are same, but there is a difference is container is lightweight and Ubuntu is means virtual machine is it is having the OS files and it is not lightweight. Fine. Successfully I had updated. If I want to upgrade the same, apt upgrade -y. It is going to upgrade the things. Successfully I had updated and upgrade the recent files or recent patches. Then if I want to install the tree package, how I will be done? apt install tree -y. Here it is command or not? Yes. It is going to install the tree package on the container. At the same time, I just want to install the Apache 2 service. How I will be able to install? apt install. Remember, in Red Hat flavors, we are going to install HTTPD as a web server. But coming to the Ubuntu, we are going to install Apache 2. Apache 2 -y. It is going to install the Apache 2 web service on the container. Just check whether it has been successfully installed or not. Yes, it is in progress and successfully we had installed the Apache 2 service as well. And suppose all the things I had done, I just want to exit from the container. What is the command? Control D or exit. If you press Control D or exit, automatically you will be able to exit from the container. Control D. Yes, you had successfully exit from the container. If you want to check the containers which are, if you want to check all the containers which are lying in your server, what is the command? Docker ps-a. The container to which I have created recently, but it is also in the exited mode. So it is exited mode means stop mode. So if I want to start the container, what is the command? Simply docker start container 2. It is going to start the container. Again execute the same command, docker ps-a. Here, if you observe, earlier the container 2 is in the exited mode, but right now the container 2 is in the up mode. The status is up. So here the container 2 is currently in the running state. If I want to enter into the container, how I will be able to do that? Here the command is docker attach container 2. Enter. Here will I be able to enter into the container or not? Yes, obviously. Right now I am inside of the container. Fine. If you press Ctrl D or exit, automatically what happens? The container will move into the exited state. If I want to exit from the container, but the container will not move into the exited state or stopped state. How that will be achieved? Simply type Ctrl P, Ctrl Q. Here if you again check the status docker ps-a, here the container 2 is the running state or not? Yes, it is not moved into the exited state. Suppose if I press Ctrl D or exit, automatically the container will be moved into the exited state. Here what I had pressed Ctrl P, then after that Ctrl Q. Ctrl Q is command to exit, to quit. Fine. So right now I have the 3 containers. Out of 3 containers, 2 containers are in the exited mode and the container 2 is in the running mode. Suppose if I want to stop the container, what is the command? Docker stop container 2. It is going to stop the container, but here if you observe, it is taking time. Immediately it is not going to stop the container 2. It is going to take time. Once the particular interval of time has been completed, it is going to stop the container 2. container, or right now here we are using the container 2, so that's why I just say container 2. Here if you execute the command docker ps-a, it is going to show in exited state because I had stopped the container. Suppose I just want to stop the container immediately without having any delay. How that will be done? That for that also there is a command. First of all, I am going to start again. Start docker start container 2. Just check whether it is in starting mode or not. Yes, it has been up mode only. If I want to stop the container immediately, what is the command? Docker kill container 2. Enter. It is going to immediately. If you check here, it is in the exited mode or not? Yes. Here it is in exited mode. It has been stopped. And again I am going to start the container. Docker start container 2. Here we can pass and unpass the container as well. If you want to pass or unpass, first of all it is in the start state, so that's why I had started the container 2. If you want to pass the container, what is the command? Docker pass container 2. If I press the command docker ps-a, here if you observe, as it is passed, so the container is passed right now. If I want to unpass it, what is the command? Simple. For passing, what the command you had used? Docker pass container 2. In the similar way, I am going to use unpass container 2. Again, if you execute the docker ps-a, it is showing that the container is running because of it is unpassed. It is resumed. So that's why it is in the up state. Fine. Successfully, I had done my task with the container. Right now, there is no requirement with the container which I had created. I just want to remove the container which I had created right now. So what is the command? Docker rm container 2. Here if you observe it, container is in the running state. Suppose if you want to remove the any container, first of all you just need to stop the container. Without stopping the container, it is not possible to remove the running container. So for that purpose, what I am going to do, docker stop container 2. It is going to stop the container 2. Once the docker container has been successfully stopped, then I am going to remove the container. If you want to check the same whether it is in stopped state or not, just check. Here it is in the exited mode, means it is in the stopped mode. Right now I am going to remove this container, docker rm container 2. Yes. If I execute the same command docker ps-a, here the container 2 is not reflected because of it has been successfully removed from the server. So that's why it is not reflected here. In this way, we can be able to perform the basic commands over the Docker. At the same time, if I want to remove the image, that is also possible. Right now, how many images I have? Only one image. If you want to check the same once again, enter Docker images. Here I have only one image. If I want to delete this image, how I can be able to do that? Docker rmi remove image. Which image I am going to remove? Ubuntu. Enter. Ubuntu. So response from the conflict unable to remove repository must force. Why it has not? Because of already there are some containers which are running over that image. So that's why it is not at deleted. So I'm going to done one thing. So docker remove container, docker remove container 1. At the same time, I'm going to remove docker remove this container as well. If I'm going to check again, is there any docker ps-a? and there are no containers which are currently running. And if I am check Docker images, so what is there? So right now I have the image Ubuntu. Okay, Docker remove image Ubuntu. Yeah, successfully it has been deleted or not. If I execute the command once again, Docker images, it is not going to show anything because of it has only one and only image, that is nothing but Ubuntu image. Successfully I had deleted the image from the server, so that's why it is not going to display anything. So this is the basic commands which we can be able to run over the Docker. Okay, hope you guys understood this session, and please subscribe my channel and do not forget to hit the bell icon as well, because whenever I had uploaded any kind of new content, immediately it will going to trigger a notification to you, and you will become the first person to watch my technical contents. At the same time, do not forget to share the content with your friends who are eagerly looking towards to learn the technologies. And thank you so much guys for watching this session, and I will meet up you in the next session with a new topic. Until signing off, thank you, bye bye.